everyone. Miss Fildza here. I hope you all had a great and musical week. I'm excited to be back this week with another lesson for you all. In the past 3 weeks, we have been working on composition. If you missed the past videos on composition, make sure to start from the first one to familiarize yourself with what we've been working on. This week's lesson is called Painting with Music, as we will learn how composing our own music is like painting a picture, but with melodies and sounds. So let's dive in. The past few weeks, we focused on how we can write polyphonic music. Remember, polyphonic music is music with more than one melody being played at the same time. We also learned about the harmonies we hear in polyphonic music. Harmonies are created by intervals. An interval is the distance between two notes. We measure the distance by counting the notes in between. Last week, we focused on thirds, fifths, and octaves. Here's a review of those three intervals and how they sound. Let's use the note D. Here is a third above D. Now here is a fifth above D. Lastly, here is an octave above D. Now let's dive into some ear training. See if you can determine which interval you are listening to. I will play a series of 3 two-note chords. Listen carefully and write down your answer if you can. Number 1 was a fifth, specifically between D and A. Number 2 was an octave between D and the next highest D. As you can hear, this octave is much wider than the fifth because it has a greater distance. Let's hear that fifth and octave once again. Keep in mind that the note on the bottom for both chords is the same D. Here's the fifth, and here's the octave. Number 3 is a third. Compared to the fifth and the octave, it is the smallest interval. Let's hear the third compared to the octave. Here's the third. Now here's the octave. As you can hear, these two intervals sound dramatically different. Let's hear the third compared to the fifth. Here's the third. Now here's the fifth. The difference between the third and the fifth isn't as great as the third and the octave, but they still create a very different color when played. What kind of color do you think these intervals have? Think about it and write it down. Last week, I challenged you all to write a duet part to the following melody. If you hadn't gotten a chance to do so, Feel free to pause the video and create your own harmony to the piece using thirds, fifths, and octaves. This is the part that I came up with. I'm going to show you which intervals I used by marking my music with colors. For my thirds, I chose blue. For my fifths, I chose pink. And for my octaves, I chose bright yellow. As you can see, composing harmonies is like painting with colors. The more colors we have in a painting, the more vibrant the picture will be. However, we don't need every color of the rainbow to make a beautiful picture. Using 2 to 3 colors can simply be enough. Now I want you to imagine what kind of picture you would paint with your music. Which colors would you use, and how would you give it more character? Don't forget there is more to a polyphonic piece of music other than the harmonies we hear. We can decorate our music with instrumentation, which is choosing which instruments you want, dynamics, rhythm, and more. For this piece, I'm going to play the top part with my violin. I'm going to add some slurs and dynamics to give the melody more character. Since they are 2 separate parts, they can each have their own dynamics and phrasing, or they can have the same dynamics and phrasing. The best part of being a composer is you get to make those decisions. Your challenge for this week is to think more about what colors or images you would want your piece to portray. Think about how you can use the following to help you capture that image: dynamics, articulation, which includes bowings, slurs, legato, and staccato, harmonies, and rhythm. You can use the melody that you composed for last week's composition challenge or start your own composition completely fresh. I'm excited to hear what you come up with. Send us your composition and I'll be happy to play and record them for you. Have a great week and good luck!